So I say, that's not a crane, that's my wife. Oh, I needed that one. Thank you, I'm here all day. Literally. I've been told I'm a real stand-up guy. Kinda change of plans. I need you to take Duke back to Crovin's Gate. Cullen, please load him up. Hop to it, gents. Oh, okay. Is he coming back? Hopefully not. I just can't go back to the others. None of them how they left. Where can I go? Where do I belong? The works. I can hide there for a bit. Take me to the works. Why? My valves have lifted. Very well. Hang on. Some tea, Your Grace? Thank you. Something on your mind, Your Grace? How'd you know? I've known you for a long time, and I've never seen you so quiet, pensive, relaxed. All right, I get it. I'm not fazed by much but Duke's words today. They made me feel... Looks like it'll take more than tea to solve this. I've known you for a long time, Robert, and there's things you didn't know when you should have. It's not your fault. I just wondered if all I'd done is what did they want. You never did, but you did what you wanted. Nay, needed to. Times have changed, and you with them. You're on the cusp of something special. And there's a lot more to that something. Thank you. Anything else, Your Grace? Yes. I need to talk to Duke. I'll phone Sir Charles to make arrangements. Again. Today. But when I come back, there's a lot more you and I need to talk about. It's time I told you the truth. Bienvenidos, Duke. What brings you in? Oh, nothing's wrong. I just needed a place to think. A place to think? What is this, a therapist's office? This is a works. We need space for engines who need repairs. Especially Sir Handel. You know how often he's here. Tell me, mi amigo, what's really bothering you? You don't miss a beat. I'm just so frustrated. So much has changed around me and no one seems to care. No one cares about the tradition, the past, about our legacy, so to speak. Yes. I've been told about your history, mi amigo. It must be very strange coming into the light again 20 years later. 20 years in the shed! I did 20 years, and no one seems to care. That does not sound like your friends, mi amigo. The world changed, Victor. The world changed and it left me behind. I know the feeling. Everything feels so foreign, no? Exactly. No one understands. Never say never, compadre. I know the feeling well. After all, I'm not from Sodor. Oh, of course. My apologies, Victor. I hadn't realized. Something tells me that's not the only thing you've missed lately. More on that later. When I came here, everyone spoke a different language. It was hard to understand and communicate with others. It felt like a new world to me. How rude of them. No, my friend, they didn't know. and to expect them to learn Espanol, Spanish, would be a lot. So I learned your language. The workmen were patient with me because I was willing to learn. Duke, the others worry about you. I hear them. It's time you do too. You learned English after all this time? How? Patience and willing to learn. Two things I heard you could use. Maybe you're right. There's something to keep in mind. You can't forget about what was, but you must also accept what is. The past is the past, but today is a gift. That is why they call it the present. Your present is a new day, and you must embrace it and push against it because a new day comes all the same. Thank you. Now, my friend, how else can I help? Has anyone seen Duke? He was supposed to be back by now. He came back? Clearly not. I guess I'm not sleeping tonight. Perceptive as always. Duke! Duke! I have something to tell you. Oh, where is he? Great question. Let us know when you have the answer. None of us have seen him. I'll check the quarry. You needn't bother. I'm here. Bother. Duke, where have you been? I had a problem, and Victor helped fix me up. Well, I wanted to tell you something. Excuse me, Sir Robert. I know I've done a lot of talking today, but there's something I should say first, if you don't mind. Since when does he care if anyone minds? Very well, Duke. What is it? I'm sorry for everything I said to you. He can apologize? Shh! No, Stuart. No, excuse me. Peter, Sam. I need to apologize more often. I've been hard lately. To all of you. And I haven't been the most accommodating or understanding. I've also been foolish. It's time I listen more to the rest of you. Especially you, Sir Robert. Thank you, Duke. But honestly, I owe you an apology. And on behalf of our family, we did abandon you in that shed, and I would have come sooner if I could. Is there a reason why? Yes. It goes back to 1943. Where's the Duke? I must speak with him. He's in bed. Well, we have to discuss business. Our railway is really struggling, and I'd love the assistance. We've already had to make one of our engines into a pumping engine in the mines. I'm very sorry to hear, but he can't help you right now. Why not? Why not? This is why. Oh, I see. My apologies. I'm sorry for your loss. Not sorry enough. Now, the new Duke is asleep, and he's also 3 years old. He can't help you. We can't help you. I see. I'll see myself out. Allow me to walk you out, sir. Don't bother. He can see himself out. Very well. I'm sorry for your loss. No, I'm sorry for your loss. It's not his fault, you know. No regard for my husband's being? That's certainly his fault. My husband, the father of my child, is dead in combat. I haven't the time to worry about some railway. I have to prepare the future Duke, and I need your help too. But he's just a boy. It's tradition. He must. Now, will you help me or not? Very well. From that day on, I had to assume the role as Earl and Duke of Sodor. I spent most of my childhood learning what a duke is, cooped up in the castle away from the railways, never being told about you or your connection to our family. I'm very sorry to hear. Indeed. However, it wasn't what I wanted, and my butler, Mr. Pennyworth, knew that too. I wasn't meant to be trapped in that castle. As soon as I could, I left. Where did you go? I saw what I couldn't see from the castle. I saw the world. My butler and I traveled together, seeing the world, but I fell in love with its many railroads and railways. We saw all types of engines in so many places, so many walks of life. Things the engines and people of Sodor may never see. So many interesting stories to share. And I decided I wanted to. I remember meeting you. I think we did meet Luke, along with many others. But I realize there's more I can do, for the engine's everywhere, and I couldn't figure out how. I returned home, and while racking my brain, I found the original plans for the MSR, as my great-grandfather helped to create it. Then I realized what I could do. Restore Ulfstead Castle, open it to the public, and create a railway museum for the engines of the world. And I've been working on it and planning it for the last 10 years. And while researching the MSR, I heard the stories of Duke going around. That's when I went looking. But I took too long to do so. You did what was right. It's taken me a long time to realize that. You couldn't have known. You were just a boy. The war did no good to anyone anyways. The world has changed. And you've all changed with it. And I've been the fuddy-duddy. And I'm sorry. Your Grace. Thank you, Duke. All is forgiven. And we're sorry too. We are? Yes! Fine. What are you going to do now? Well, I've been thinking all day about it. Your Grace, I appreciate your efforts to restore the castle and bring me in. But I don't belong. You have your Duke's engine already anyways. You found her first. I see. I respect your decision. But I'd like to visit from time to time. Out of respect, of course, and perhaps retire here someday. But in the meantime, there's a lot to learn here, if the others are willing to help me. Always are. Thank you, Sir Handel, Peter Sam. I'll look to you two the most. After all, it's your job to keep me in order. Anytime, Grandpuff. And Your Grace, I'd like to request one more thing. So this is where the MSR was born? Yes, sort of. And today we're going to pay our respects and represent it. It's beautiful, isn't it? Yes. It is. Bonjour, everyone! Newcomers, welcome to the castle. Thank you. So you're the new Duke's engine? So you see. You sure you're okay with this? Of course I am. She was always a better fit than me anyways. She'd do us all proud. Oh, thank you, Duke. Oh, we are starting. Here comes the L. Hello! Hello, everyone! Welcome everyone to the Ulfstead Castle and Railway Museum opening day. Today, we open the castle to not just the railway, but to the world and all of its wondrous engines. You may tour the castle, tour the grounds with Stephen and Millie, meet the former engines of the Mid-Sodor, and when you're ready to leave, our knights of old will race within reason to bring you home. Now, I declare the castle grounds open! You've done good, Your Grace. You've done good. Come on. We have to get into place, Grandpa. Very well. What are we doing here? Well, during the restoration of the castle, I found the old Ulfstead mine. It had an old connection to the MSR, and I found something rather interesting. What sorts of interesting? Take a look for yourself. Hello. Who is he? What is he? He is an old warrior.